Good day and gratitude, family. This is Face the Nation with Bolden Unchained, and I have something very, very nice for you today. Um, you know that we are doing our readings. We did Red Summer. Now we're reading Racial Violence in Kentucky, 1865 to 1940, on our Midnight with the Ancestors Ride, our channel. And 12 p.m. noon, we are also reading Black Heroes from A to Z. And now we're just watching videos till our midnight with the ancestors at 12. And I wanted to share this video with this. This is really brilliant. It's in cartoon fashion. And considering our attention span isn't that focused, especially when it comes to teachings and lessons about our history, about us. We can't focus. We can't give that our undivided attention. So our brother has put everything in cartoon fashion. I know, right? So yeah, let's watch some of them and stuff. And this one here, this clip right here is one of my favorite sisters. This is our sister, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Oh, she is so wonderful, y'all. On my old page, I had some videos of Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, and I put them on here too, those videos, because they are on YouTube. And I actually drew all of her diagrams when she used the chalkboard and stuff. I actually drew all of them, so I have them. And when we watch her videos, I don't think I have any of her books. If someone has some of her books, you should, join the broadcast and we can read with you, while you read some of her books and stuff. So let's get to this video here. And on my channel, it does explain that Bolden Unchained is here to assist in the uncovering and the confronting of all the agendas and the projects, the events, the sabotages against Black Americans, Black people in America. Yeah, let's get to this. This is awesome.
Listen.
Neely Fuller, who wrote the textbook for victims of racism a number of years ago, in the late mid-70s, he used to say in the system, because he was the first person to talk about racism as a system. And he said that as the system of racism, white supremacy moves on, the system is going to have Black men wearing dresses. Now, to hear that in the 70s, people said, oh, this is way out. And here we are. You see, there's some Black pediatricians who are saying we are developing epidemic levels of the effeminization of young Black males. Well, I say the pants sagging down is just a subconscious invitation for homosexuality. You see, it's revealing the buttocks. See, so the pants are getting lower and lower and lower. The next step is to step out of the pants altogether. And so you step out of the pants, you're going to put on a dress. The effeminization is an essential ingredient of white genetic survival. And the only thing that can prevent it is Black people becoming conscious or becoming determined that this is not going to happen to them, because if the Black men are destroyed, then the Black people are gone, and we have a state of genocide. In the last 500 years, Black people in this area of the world, we can say that there's no such thing as Black culture. What there is what the system of racism, white supremacy, programs Black people to do. You see, in other words, if the system of racism, white supremacy says, you are not going to be scientists, you are not going to be highly functioning doctors and lawyers and teachers, you are not going to have stable family life, you are not going to respect sex. Now, your role is to entertain me. So you can jump up and down and sing. You can dance. And yes, you're good at sports. You can do that in some venues. That's what I'm going to allow you to do. I'm not going to allow you to have stable communities, because if you have a Tulsa, Oklahoma, I'm going to burn that down. If you think you're going to stabilize a so-called middle-class community and you're going to have a home that's mortgaged, I'm going to see that those mortgages are foreclosed so that you can be into family dissolution, place of living dissolved. So what we can say is that we have an imposed culture under the power dynamics of racism, white supremacy. See, I can see right now in my mind the picture of Beyonce with her legs wide open at the Super Bowl for last year. It was so appalling to me, I can't get it out of my mind in terms of what has been done to us. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we would be wiser. No, we are trying to get ourselves to the point where we can establish what we would then call black culture, where we will no longer be victims of a system of racism, white supremacy. So once the system of racism, white supremacy has been replaced with a system of justice, that's when we will start talking about our culture. That's when we will begin talking about who we really are as black people.
Just more of the same of what you're looking at now, and becoming more and more sophisticated, more backstabbing, more black people walking around like zombies, not knowing what to do, not knowing what to value, not knowing what's important, not knowing the difference between a male and a female. Just stone, obliteration of the mind, complete. No value system of any kind. Just going around doing things like robots, like Frankensteins. On the course that we're on now, because of we don't have a vision, and people who don't have a vision, I'm saying, like I said in my book, because people have asked me this time through the years, what is it that we should want, Mr. Fuller? And I said, well, we should want to be what people ought to be, if we can ever find out what that is. And so that's an evolving process. So we'll put a label on it, said we should be evolving toward universal man and universal woman. Now, what would that look like? We really don't know, but it would be the very best that there is in a most constructive manner. And the only way you know the difference between something constructive and something non-constructive is by trial and error. So you always try to do the constructive thing in every area of activity. In economics, what's the most constructive way to use your time and energy? Because that's the compensatory definition for economics, the use of time and energy. So what's the most constructive thing to do each and every minute of each and every day in the use of your time and energy? And then in the field of education, what's the most constructive way to educate people? Now, some people have said they've seen some cartoons of my work on the internet that have been presented, and that it pretty well embellishes what I have been trying to say in my textbooks. And to the extent that it does that, well, that has been, from what I understand, some people reported to me, a plus. Because they didn't understand what I had written very well, but when they saw those cartoons that just repeated what I was saying and attaching my name to it, and came right out of the book, the material did, they say that they better understood it. And I can understand that because people are kind of visual, particularly in the year 2021 now, more visual than ever.
And I would like to say that us as a spiritual people, we are very visual. You know, we learn. A lot of us learn through vision, what we see. That's why putting Dr. Neely Fuller's lessons in cartoon is very brilliant for us, because we don't want the subject of our focus, Black history, is very traumatizing to us, and we don't like to talk about it, and it makes us feel afraid. But I think having it in cartoon fashion gives us a little comfort, a little cushion, where we can at least begin to give it some attention. We can at least begin to listen to it, you know, and try to resonate what it means without feeling the anxiousness and the fear, you know, of what the bottom line is, which is wake the fuck up. And so I really love these videos here, and I wish I could show more and stuff, but they're on YouTube, hip hop cartoons. And this one right here is one with Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, and she's on YouTube. And I have some work of hers that I'll share when we do some videos of her. But you know, at 12 o'clock midnight, we do our Midnight with the Ancestors reading. And we finished Red Summer, 1919, the summer of 1919, the awakening of Black America. Now we're reading Racial Violence in Kentucky, 1865 to 1940. And we do that. I got to give me some tea before the class starts. And we do that 12 o'clock midnight every night. So, you know, me and the ancestors will see you there. Yeah, peace and power to the people. Let me go fix me some tea, too. Get you something to drink if you want.